Welcome back to Career Power Hyderabad, powered by Adda 24/7. Students, today we'll discuss the important MCQs. But before going into this session, please subscribe our YouTube channel. Also, share with your friends. So do join our Telegram channel because you'll find the PDF only in the Telegram channel. And do download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the link in the description. So please download the app and also share the link with your friends. So first question for today. So the India's first maritime arbitration center is being set up in which city? So the India's first maritime arbitration center is being set up in which city? The answer is Gandhinagar. The answer is Gandhinagar, Gujarat. So arbitration is a very simple form of the alternate dispute resolution. So it's a concept to resolve disputes outside the courts. So alternate dispute resolution is something which you resolve disputes outside the courts, and this arbitration center is one such thing. Okay. So here this arbitration is legally binding on the both of the parties. So arbitration generally is legally binding on both of these parties. So this is about the arbitration concept of arbitration. So the Gujarat Maritime University has signed an MOU with the International Financial Service Center called the IFSC CA. So in the GIFT city, so this is present in the Gujarat's GIFT city. So both of them, they went into an agreement to set up this International Maritime Arbitration Center. So the Gujarat Maritime University as well as the International Financial Services Center Authority. So both of them, they went into an agreement to establish this Gujarat International Maritime Arbitration Center. So this mainly resolve disputes related to the maritime and shipping sector. It mainly resolve disputes related to the maritime and shipping sector. Okay. So this will be established in the GIFT city in Gandhinagar. So almost in India there are 35 arbitration centers, but none of them will deal with the maritime sector, and this is the first in India to deal with a maritime sector. And now earlier people used to go to the Singapore Arbitration Center which deals with the maritime sector, but now with the establishment of the Maritime Arbitration Center in Gandhinagar, so the world nations or the Indian shipping industry, they will definitely come to Gandhinagar. So very useful thing for us. So remember, Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani, Gujarat Governor Acharya Devvrat. So next question, Ministry of Defence has unveiled a new system of automated sanction and disbursement of defence pension. What is the name of this system? So Ministry of Defence has unveiled a new system for automated sanction and disbursement of defence pension. What is the name of the system? The answer is SPARSH. So the answer is SPARSH. SPARSH is the new the system automated sanction and disbursement of defence pension, which is introduced by the Ministry of Defence. So it abbreviates as the System for Pension Administration Raksha, an integrated system for the automation of the sanction and disbursement of the defence pension. So this system you can use for processing pension claims. You can credit pension directly into the bank accounts of the defence pensioners without any delay. Okay, and also a pensioner portal is also available. So to view their pension related information, to register complaints for all the pensioners, and also they are establishing service centers. So those pensioners who can't avail this website, they will utilize these service centers. So the basic service centers are the defense accounts offices. So in every major city you will have the defense account department offices. So they serve as the service centers, as well as the defense pensioners largest banks SBI and PNB, State Bank of India and Punjab National Bank, will be also the service centers. So these service centers will help the pensioners in resolving their issues. So please remember the Ministry of Defence, Rajnath Singh. So next question, Indian Railways has set up the India's first movable freshwater tunnel aquarium, Aquatic Kingdom, in which city? So Indian Railway has set up India's first movable freshwater tunnel aquarium called the Aquatic Kingdom. So the answer is Bengaluru. So in the city of Bengaluru, so mainly in this Bengaluru city railway station called the KSR Bengaluru city railway station. So KSR abbreviates to Krantivira Sangoli Rayanna railway station, also called the Bengaluru city railway station. So this is the first railway station in India to have a movable freshwater tunnel aquarium. So this is opened by the Indian Railway Station Development Corporation, IRSDC, in the collaboration with HNA Aquatic Kingdom. So this Aquatic Kingdom aquarium is a basic concept of the Amazon River, which is 12 feet long. So 12 feet long aquarium. So it has a 3D selfie area, 20 feet of glass periphery, and in the entrance itself there is a beautiful dolphin which is greeting visitors with a slight bow and smile. So it's a 12 feet aquarium which is the first paludarium that houses both flora and fauna. So very simple, paludarium means it's a system where both living and non-living elements exist together. So this system, this aquarium has alligators, stingrays, sharks, lobsters, snails, shrimps, and also natural rocks, some driftwood, some artificial coral rocks, everything. Both living and non-living elements are present here. So this will be a major experience for the passengers and also a good revenue for railways, because a rupees 25 entry ticket is also placed to generate revenue to Indian Railways. So these are all the facilities of this aquarium. So this aquarium is established by, we already discussed, it is the Indian Railway Station Development Corporation Limited. So this Indian Railway Station Development Corporation Limited, their main aim is to undertake facility management in railway stations. So currently they are developing the KSR Bengaluru, Pune, Anand Vihar, Chandigarh and Secunderabad railway stations to enhance the customer experience and to make travel safe and hassle free. So this is about the Indian Railway Station Development Corporation, so which is established in 2014 and headquarters is in Delhi. So next question. So Amazon has launched its first digital Kendra in which city in India? So Amazon has launched its first digital Kendra in which city in India? The answer is Surat. So Amazon launches its first digital Kendra in India in this Gujarat state in the Surat city. So this is launched by Vijay Rupani, the Chief Minister of Gujarat. So these digital Kendras of Amazon will provide micro, small, medium enterprises an opportunity to learn the benefits of e-commerce. So these are mainly for the MSMEs, so that they will learn the benefits of e-commerce. So these MSMEs, so people who are running MSMEs, they can visit this Amazon Digital Kendra. They can avail third-party services like training, GST tax support, shipping, logistics support, digital marketing services. All these services will be provided by this Amazon Digital Kendra. So this company, Amazon company, is focused on enabling the sellers to reach the customers across India and globally. So the main aim of this Amazon is to enable the sellers to reach the customers. So Amazon will act as an interface between the customer and the seller. And the main aim of the company is to digitize 10 million micro, small, medium scale industries in India by 2025. So this is the target. So a 1400 square feet center was established in Krushi Bazar. So this center will act as the digital Kendra for MSMEs. So Amazon is formed in 1994 and Amazon headquarters is in Seattle, Washington State, USA. The next question, yesterday only we discussed this, the tallest sand castle of the world was inaugurated recently in which country? The tallest sand castle of the world was inaugurated recently in which country? The answer is Denmark. The answer is Denmark. So the designers in Denmark, they created this world's biggest sand castle at 69 feet. So they nearly used 5,000 tons of sand to construct this sand castle. So with the 30 sand sculptures, so the Dutch created Wilfred Stiger, he created this massive structure to represent the power of coronavirus. So how coronavirus has controlled the world. So he want to replicate it in the sand castle. At the top of the sand castle, there is a replica of virus in the form of crown. So this particular sand castle, he created a replica as a crown of coronavirus in the form of crown on the top of the sand castle. So this sand castle was constructed in the Blokhus city in Denmark. So also this castle features the beach houses, lighthouses, windsurfing, kite surfing, which are the native to the Blokhus city. So this structure is in triangle to avoid all the collapsings. So triangle will avoid collapsings, and also 10% clay is used and glue is used to make it durable and to stand against long winters and storms. Okay. So remember, Denmark capital Copenhagen, Denmark currency Danish krone. The next question, which of the following has launched the newsletter platform Bulletin? So which of the following company has launched the newsletter platform Bulletin? The answer is Facebook. The answer is Facebook. So Facebook has launched the Bulletin. So Bulletin is a set of publishing and subscription tools aimed at the independent writers mainly in the USA. So Bulletin, this Bulletin site will provide a individual site for every writer with a customized name, logo, color palette and tools, so that he can post his stories. So in USA, the fashion of individual writers is increasing day by day. Major media personalities, they are coming out of their media groups and they are starting their own websites, they are starting their own subscriptions. So that is why Facebook has launched this Bulletin website. So Bulletin is a rival to Substack and Twitter's own review. So Bulletin will be the rival to the Substack, important newsletter platform in USA, and also Twitter owned review. So Facebook, generally the other platforms, they take some money from the subscriptions, but Facebook does not charge any money from subscription. So initially it is free. So this is about the story of Bulletin. So Facebook was established in 2004 and Facebook headquarters California. So next question, Department of Public Enterprise has been brought under which ministry by the central government? Department of Public Enterprise has been brought under which ministry by the central government? The answer is Ministry of Finance. So the Department of Public Enterprise, so this is earlier under the Heavy Industries Ministry, is now brought under the Finance Ministry. So main aim of bringing this ministry is to ease the further disinvestment plan. So government is having a target of disinvestment of nearly 1.75 lakh crores this year. So that is why it is brought under the Finance Ministry to ease the process. So now the Finance Ministry has 6 departments after including of the Department of Public Enterprise. You can see the other departments: Department of Economic Affairs, Expenditure, Revenue, Investment and Public Asset Management, and Financial Services. So please remember, so the Department of Public Enterprise is brought under the Finance Ministry. So remember the Ministry of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman. So the next question, according to UN agency, the high temperatures in Antarctica are result of large high pressure system created by. So according to the UN agency, the World Meteorological Organization, the high temperatures in Antarctica are result of large high pressure system created by the Foehn conditions. So the answer is Foehn conditions. So the answer is Foehn conditions. So the World Meteorological Organization, they recognized a new record high temperature of Antarctica. On February 6, 2020, the Esperanza station, okay, so they experienced 18.3 degrees Celsius. So this Esperanza station is of the Antarctica country. So their research station, they recorded 18.3 degrees Celsius. So in 2015, the highest temperature was 17.5. So this was the previous record in 2015, 17.5. This year the record is 18.3 degrees Celsius. So with this, the Antarctica is now one of the fastest warming regions in the world because there is a rise of 3 degrees Celsius in the last 50 years. So the main reason for this rise of temperatures is because of the high pressure system created by the Foehn conditions. So what is this Foehn condition? These are simply downslope winds creating significant surface warming. Downslope winds which are creating significant surface warming. So see here, very simple. So these are cold low level upward winds. So they are blocked by mountains. So the relatively drier upper level air, so they replace this cold low level air. So they descend downwards and they create surface warming here. So because of this surface warming, there is ice melting, there is high temperatures in the Antarctica region. Okay. So World Meteorological Organization is a specialized agency of UN mainly responsible for promoting international cooperation on the atmospheric science, climatology, hydrology and geophysics, which is formed in 1950 and headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. So next question, The Light of Asia, Jairam Ramesh new book is a biography of an epic biopoem on. So The Light of Asia, the Jairam Ramesh new book is a biography of an epic biopoem on Gautama Buddha. So the answer is Gautama Buddha. The answer is Gautama Buddha. So the former Union Minister Jairam Ramesh, so he released, he announced his new book, The Light of Asia, the poem that defined the Buddha. So this book will be released in May 2022 under the Penguin Publications. So Ramesh was recently awarded the 2020 Kamala Devi Chattopadhyaya NIF Book Prize for his book, The Checkered Brilliance, Many Lives of V.K. Krishna Menon. So he announced his new book, The Light of Asia. So this Light of Asia was written and published by Sir Edward Arnold in 1879, which describes the life and time of Prince Gautama Siddhartha, who after attaining enlightenment was called Buddha. So it represents his life, character, philosophy in the series of poems, verses. So Jairam Ramesh is writing his own version about Gautama Buddha, and it will be released in next year in the month of May. The next question, which country held the top rank in the News on Air live stream global rankings? released recently. So which country held the top rank in news on air radio live stream global rankings released recently? The answer is USA. So the answer is USA. So News on Air app is Prasar Bharati's official app, which is Indian app. So this app contains nearly 230 plus live radio channels, TV, news, current affair, all entertainment programs of All India Radio and Doordarshan. So this app is a first step of Prasar Bharati to become a global digital platform. So this app released the global live stream rankings, live stream global rankings. And of this rankings, if you see the top 10 streams in India, rank 1 Vivid Bharati National, rank 2 FM Global, FM Gold Delhi, rank 3 Rainbow Delhi, rank 4 Air Malayalam, rank 5 Air Chennai Rainbow, and rank 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can see here. And if you see the News on Air top countries rest of the world excluding India, and the rank 1 is United States. So United States has topped the live stream global rankings report by the News on Air app. So first rank USA, second is Fiji, third Australia, 4 United Kingdom, 5 is Canada, then 6 United Arab Emirates, 7 Singapore, 8 Kuwait, 9 Saudi Arabia, and 10 is Germany. Okay, so please try to remember the News on Air radio live stream global rankings, and the answer is United States, and in India the first rank is by the Vivid Bharati National. The next question, under whose chairmanship the government has set up 25-member Development Council for Cement Industry? Under whose chairmanship the government has set up 25-member Development Council for Cement Industry? The answer is Punit Dalmia. So Punit Dalmia, the head of the Dalmia Bharat Group, so he set up, so he will be the chairman of this 25-member Development Council. So government set up this council to suggest ways to eliminate waste, to obtain maximum production, to improve quality, reduce cost, and promote standardization of products. So in this group, if you see the key members from Shri Cement, it is H.M. Bandur, from India Cements, Rakesh Singh, from Birla Cement, Prachita Majumdar, from JK Cement, Madhav Krishna Sinha, and from JSW, Jindal Steel Works Cement, it is Nilesh Navekar. So these are all the key members in this 25-member Development Council. Next question, Indian naval ship. So which of the following Indian naval ship has recently participated in the military exercises with Italy Navy? So Indian naval ship has recently participated in the Italy Navy with the Italy Navy. So what is that ship? The answer is Tabar. So INS Tabar. So INS Tabar has participated in the military exercises with the Italian Navy. So Tabar has entered the Mediterranean Sea along with the Italian Navy. So the commanding officer of the ship, Captain Mahesh Mangipudi, so he greeted the senior officers of the Italy Navy and Coast Guard. So Italy capital Rome and Italy currency Euro, and also our army chief MM Narvani is also in Italy. So it's a coincidence that both Navy and Army are present in Italy. Indian Navy, Indian Army are visiting the Italy. So this exercise will cover several naval operations such as air defense procedures, communication drills, all the cross deck hello operations by day and night, all these operations will be done. So this will enhance the interoperability and consolidated combined operations. If you see about INS Tabar, Indian naval ship Tabar, it is a Talwar class frigate which is armed with the supersonic BrahMos anti-ship cruise missiles. It has supersonic BrahMos anti-ship cruise missiles and also Barak missiles. So it's a frigate, Talwar class frigate with multiple missile system. So next question, which of the following has proposed its own over-the-top OTT platform? So which state in India has proposed its OTT platform? The answer is Kerala. So Kerala government has proposed its own OTT platform which will be launched by November 1st. So the state government aim is to have cultural intervention rather than making profits. So their main is to protect the culture of Kerala, they protect the Malayalam culture. They are entering into this OTT platform. So OTT players like Netflix, Amazon Prime, they are showing much interest in Malayalam cinema, but only for commercial movies of big stars. They are not showcasing the culture of Kerala. So that is why the Kerala government is trying to launch this particular OTT platform, and also to encourage the local the streams like the niche stream, mainstream TV. So the government wants to encourage the local streams, because these local streams, they don't have much budget, much finance to compete with the major players like Netflix and Amazon. So Kerala state government proposed its own OTT platform so that it will help the struggling OTT platforms in the state. So Kerala Governor Arif Muhammad Khan, Kerala Chief Minister Pinari Vijayan. So the last question, which of the following portfolio is associated with the Union Minister Kiran Rijiju? So Kiran Rijiju is now the Union Ministry of Law and Justice. So Kiran Rijiju is now the Minister of Law and Justice. Okay, so please remember. So these are all the MCQs for today. So please subscribe your YouTube channel. Please share with your friends. So join the Telegram channel. PDF is only available there. So do download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We are providing coaching for bank, SSC, RRB and also for Andhra and Telangana, police and SI. So do download the Career Power Hyderabad app. We'll provide the link in the description. So we'll meet in the next class. Thank you very much.